find a way out and then get back to me. Unfortunately, the proceedings of House hit a new low with the papers being snatched from the minister and torn into pieces and thrown into the air. Such actions are in a clear assault of our parliamentary democracy. They do not cover the world's largest democracy. Please, do not cover the world's largest democracy with glory. Please, should be members of parliament be party to degrading the country's standing in the world stage? It was also agreed that BSc meeting yesterday that this August House will take up a detailed discussion on various aspects including country's economy, at least for 4 hours. I have even suggested to the government, please don't sit and then make comments. Please don't test my patience. I am also a human being. I have even suggested to the government and the opposition to sit together and prioritize the legislative and other agenda for the remainder of the session. Some opposition leaders have appreciated the session, but to my dismay, these things turn out to be different in the House. The turn of events in the House brings us to the question of what drives the disruption in the Parliament. It is only political and grandstanding. I have stressed that on the eve of the session, Parliament is much more than a political institution, given its constitutional mandate. But there seems to be a scant respect for the constitutional sanctity of Parliament. Very, very unfortunate. Honourable members, you are the custodians of our parliamentary democracy. The entire country, including state legislatures, are looking to both the House of Parliament for guidance. And this has been really acknowledged by one and all. The parliamentarians speak for the people and states they represent. Disrupting the House is certainly no way of doing justice for which you are all here. I fervently appeal to all sections of the House to enable smooth functioning of the House by raising above the political considerations. If at all there are many disruptions, only that will halt the march of our nation besides letting people down. Honourable members, 3 weeks from now, we will be entering the 75th year of our hard-fought independence. The spirit of its celebration should not be marred by dysfunctional parliament. Our freedom struggle was all for the self-governance with our people as the masters. But what is being witnessed in the parliament is to contrary. This does not resonate with the movement of 75 years of our freedom from colonial rule. As the chairman of this August House, I am deeply distressed by the course of events in the House. I expect many of you to be equally anguished. If so, we shall find a way out to the present state of affairs. We are anguished, and so are the people. Let the Parliament function smoothly and bring shine to the lives of the people. Whatever you want to say during the course of discussion, you are free to say it, but within the permitted ambit and scope of any issue or discussion. That has to be kept in mind. Papers to be laid. There is a procedure, you know. Sukanji, you have been in the chair also, senior also. So papers to be laid on the table. Sri Muralidharan, Parliament Affairs. Papers first.
Respected Chairman, sir, with your permission, on behalf of my colleagues, Sri Som Prakash ji and Sri Kailash Chaudhary ji, I lay on the table of the House the papers listed against their names and serial numbers 1 and 2 respectively in today's revised list of business.
Reports of the Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce, Sri John Bittas. Acha.
English and Hindi of the Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce mentioned against my name in the list of business today.
Thank you, Mr. John Bittas. You have understood this spirit of my observation, and even before I sent circular, you have gone to the respective place allotted to you. I appreciate you for this. Report of the Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture, Sri T.G. Venkatesh.
Respected Chairman, sir, I rise to present the 293rd report on status of aviation connectivity in the country